All right, Shalom. For the first one, give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemiyah Shai, Basham Hamakaw Kodash Bakatam. Double honor to the apostle, elder, great millstone, and to the Akim across the globe. Pushing over truth and city, I want to say Shalom. It's our day now from the great millstone camp of Chicago with a quick hit. Just going through my little social media TikTok pages, and came across this. Just take a listen.
Knows the dollar is finished. I mean, honest to God, if I could speak about maybe something I've heard at some point, maybe from somebody reputable, maybe not, you never know. I'm just going to throw something out there that I heard. That the BRIC nations want off the dollar, and they're going to do it August 1st of this year. So they have their own version of the SWIFT system, an international payment system that will run everything but the dollar. And joining that list is Saudi Arabia. This is big. China's on that list. Russia's on that list. Brazil is on that list. Thailand's on that list. There's a lot of countries that are tired of the dollar and they want off. The Federal Reserve.
You heard that, man. The other nations are tired of the dollar. They want off of it, man. All right? So we're going to get this in James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you." All right, man. Right now, the rich man is Esau Edom. All right, America and their petrodollar is not being revered anymore. All right, the other nations don't want to use it. All right, the American dollar ties to corruption. You see. All right, when your money fails, all right, then your economy fails. All right, so the fall of the dollar is going to create a lot of unstableness here in so-called America. Look at that word miseries. It says hardship, trouble, calamity, misery, all right? Wretchedness. All right, so there's going to be a lot of hardships coming up, man. All right, I was reading an article some time ago, I need to start taking notes, but basically they were saying that when these things happen, when nations are converting from one currency to another, all right, the money that you have in the former currency, when it is transferred over, you receive a considerable amount less of what you had in the bank. All right, for instance, say you got $45,000 in the bank, all right, but the dollar's not working. They're gonna convert that over to the new currency, and you're gonna take a hit. Your $45,000 might be $15,000. You see, so there's gonna be a lot of people who have their faith and trust in the dollar that's gonna be in the soup line here very soon. Verse 2: "Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten." All right, and America spends more money on foreign countries' infrastructure and aid than they do here in America, man. All right, they put over $6 billion in Ukraine, all right, for the betterment and the help of the Ukrainian citizens, and they have received 0% of that money, man. All right, $6 billion here in America could do a lot for homelessness, for health care, all right, for people who are going hungry, for education, okay? But Esau Edom's a damn devil, all right, and nobody wants to do business with a devil. So your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, all right? The American dollar is not as powerful as it used to be. All right, you got these You remember, and this was a sign of back in the day when you had a quarter bag of chips. Now they're damn near $1 a piece. All right? Food is going up, and the quantity of the food is going down. They call it what a shrinkflation, I believe. All right? Your dollar is not doesn't have the same buying power as it had 30 years ago. All right? Let's get cankered. Cankered, to rust over, covered with rust. All right? Corroded. All right? So America's money, just like its infrastructure, man, just like its bridges and streets, all right, it's unstable. It's shaky. All right, it's not going to be any good here soon, man. All right, so your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be as a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. All right, and that fall of the dollar is going to create a domino effect here in America. You're going to start seeing riots. You're going to start seeing these pantries, lines getting longer and longer. All right, and another thing about those pantries is that they rely on farmers, and they rely on these packing places, right? And with them going, and with them burning down and having fires to these processing plants, all right, the charitable distribution of these churches and these food banks, all right, is gonna be diminished by a great deal. All right, and this is all gonna lead, okay, to the downfall of America, man. All right, because if nobody's dealing in the currency that you're dealing in, how are you going to sell your goods? How are you going to buy goods? All right? So behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right, man? You got all these prices going up, cost of living going up, but yet people are still living below the poverty range, man. All right, if you make $15 an hour here, all right, you're making working 40 hours, you're making less than $30,000 a year, man. All right, that's below poverty, man. You see? These people working long hours, all right, unreasonable hours, home from their kids, they're sacrificing a lot just to make pennies to go pay your rent. That's $1,500. Dental, medical is $200-$300, man. You see? Gas is creeping back up again. All right, and people are just tired of not working. They rather do TikToks and YouTubes and do their own businesses, man. Because working for Esau, you're not going to get paid, man. All right, what's the old adage? You never get rich by working for somebody, and that's true. All right, Esau has cut off his nose to spite his face, and now he's starting to see the error of his ways, man. All right. So you have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. All right, Esau's gotten fat, man. All right, you didn't gotten fat off the backs of these other nations, man. Going into these other lands, robbing, pillaging, exploiting their lands, man. Exploiting their resources. All right, I was watching a thing about the Dole plantation, man. All right, how you went in there and overthrew the ruling family, all right, to take over the pineapples. You see? Then you got the guy who did the bananas, went down to South America and created a coup. All right, led a small army. He financed a small army to go in there and take over the fields. All right. This man has been given a blessing, and he exploited it to the point to where now he's going to feel the wrath of the Lord. All right. It says, "You have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you." Right, man. You know, all the slave labor, the unrighteous decrees, the false balances, and the exact of wages, man. All right, Jake don't protest. All right, Jake try to get a union in a place, and you threaten them with a discharge and termination, man. All right. Let's go to the part to where no man shall buy you. Nobody stepping up, demanding fair wages for these jobs for our people, man. You see, and these other nations are tired of it, and they're banding together against you. Salaki, I want to get this real quick. It's an apocrypha, Bloodshedder. This is Sirach 34 and in 21. It says, "The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood." All right? You got Amazon laying off 7,000 people. All right, you got all these so-called big businesses. Was it Twitter? I don't know, one of the social medias laying off a lot of people, man. All right, and these jobs are not being replaced. You see, you got to watching a skit where, you know, and I know that, you know, I got people work for FedEx and Amazon and all that, where if you go over your 8 hours because you haven't finished your packages, you don't get no overtime for that. All right, but here you are, you put this burden on these workers, all right, for them to bust their ass, all right. You don't want to give them right compensation for their work, man. Or even he, oh, no, man, let's just get to it. "He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder." Right, man. You keeping things back by fraud, man. And like you say, man, like you miss one day of work, you know, it's you know, a whole bunch of money taken out. But you work one extra day, it's $20 more you see on your check, man. You know, this man has no pity, has no what's the word, compassion on anybody, man. You see, it said, "When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor?" Right, man. All right. We do all this work, and here you come and tear things down. All that work is for naught. All those hours you done came in, you know, and relieved somebody on their days off. You done worked overtime when you ain't want to. All the, you know, and it got things like a mandatory overtime. How you gonna mandate somebody when the contract is for a certain amount of hours a day, and if they don't do the mandatory, you terminate them, man? It's this goddamn devil, man. Hey, Halawayah, all right, that this man is going down, man. All right, and we're watching the fall of our enemies right now. Like Apostle Todd said, man, look, you can lock us up, lock me up, do what you gotta do. I just want to see the fall of our enemies, man. Let's get that. I'm gonna close out. Let me see. Let's just see the fall. Here we go. Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And we're seeing the fall of our enemy by seeing the fall of his dollar, man. All right? So that one say, Call halal, Yabashmi Awashai. Double honor to the apostle and the elders of the great millstone. Till next time, Shalom and a Bible ball.